Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Samastajana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. नमः श्री तुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन राम प्रेमामृतेन मे दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे तु जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्. Hari Om, salutations to all. So we are seeing the last portion of this Aranyakand. And we saw there that Naradji asks Bhagavan that why did he not allow Bhagavan to marry this Vishwamohini. Now, that whole prasang we have seen earlier, it has come. Shivji got angry and he burnt Kamdev. Naradji got the pride that Shivji has conquered Kama, but he has not conquered Krodha. And Bhagavan does not like that the devotee falls in this way because of Abhiman. So to save Naradji, Bhagavan did that whole Leela. And through that, Naradji was made aware that see, Kama also came into your mind, and then Krodha also came that you could not marry Vishwamohini, and he cursed Bhagavan also. So Abhiman, Kam, Krodh, everything came in Naradji. Such a great devotee of the Lord, and him, if it can come, then how much more alert we should be that any time these three can come. So Bhagavan says that his devotees who are jnanis are like the grown-up children, and those who are the bhaktas who surrender to him and depend only on him, they are like the small children. Jnanis use their vivek, but bhaktas, Bhagavan has to protect them, and so that whole Leela Bhagavan did to help Naradji. Now we also saw that through that answer, Bhagavan gives the warning, or it is like a caution that a seeker must be very cautious, because Kama can enter, if of all the 6 vikaras, Kama is the main one. Kama means lust also, and Kama means selfishness also. So of all the 6, if this is not mastered, the other 5 will come in very easily. In Naradji's prasang also we see that. He sees Vishwamohini and then the Kama arises. Then only Krodha has also come, Abhiman also has come, delusion also has come, jealousy also has come, that Bhagavan is married and he is not allowing me to marry. So he curses Bhagavan that in your avatar you will be separated from your wife. So Kama, Krodha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, Lobha also came in him when he wanted to marry that Vishwamohini. He didn't want anybody else, and he was so full of himself at that time. So the idea is that a seeker must be alert, very, very alert. So we saw this Doha 43, where Bhagavan says that Kama, Krodha, Lobha, they are the most powerful army of ignorance. But amongst all of them, the most troublesome is the incarnation of Maya called woman. So we also saw that this prasang is not about Stri Ninda, it is about being alert. Each one has to be alert about their attachments and not fall for Kama. Also, it is applicable to the opposite gender in the same way. Now, one important point we have to understand here also is even Tulsidas ji himself has gone through this trouble. He himself was overcome with karma for his wife, and it is his wife who awakens him, saying that if this much, even if a little bit of this you have for Bhagwan, you will get mukti. So Tulsidas ji himself has gone through the pangs of karma and suffered through it, come out of it. Narad ji, he is a great devotee, he went through that and Bhagwan saved him out of that. Both these are great saints. So the question is not about Strininda, the question is about what is our mind and how unpredictable that mind is, that even the mind which is doing satsang, which has learned so much. Tulsidas was a great scholar. Sanskrit he is mastered so many Vedangas, all that. But he had deep attachment to his wife. So now we have to see that context, that we have to be alert. Karma is the most powerful one. It can enter from anywhere. And this is said not only here by Tulsidas ji, it is said even in the Gita, Bhagavan says in the 3rd chapter, why is it that when Arjuna asked the question that why is it that a person does the wrong, commits the sin, even when one knows that it is wrong? What is that force that compels the person to do the wrong? What does Bhagavan answer there? He says, Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna samudbhavaha. This Kama born out of Rajoguna. That is the cause. And he gives the whole history, not history, the whole mechanism of how karma works. Indriyani manobuddhi asyadhisthana muchyate eter vimohayatyesha jnanam avritya dehinam. He says that the karma works from all the 3 hideouts. Like an enemy attacks us from hideouts. We can't see the enemy and the enemy attacks. So what are the hideouts of karma? There he says Indriyani, the senses. The moment we see, desire arises or not? All the senses. Somebody tells us something nice. Oh, have you seen this movie? Or have you gone to this place? Oh, what an amazing place this is. You must visit it. Now the desire arises. Next vacation, let me plan. Listening, seeing. Same way, smelling, tasting, touching. Karma will arise. Indriyani. And one is caught absolutely unaware, thrown off guard. Same way, mana, mind. So from the mind also, the mind goes through experiences and it recollects. So the past memories. The more I brood on the past memories, the more desires will arise. I want the repetition of the same pleasure I enjoyed before. And then buddhi. Buddhi anyway plans schemes, new things, new methods of enjoyment, broods over how to enjoy in different ways till now, which we have not been able to enjoy or which are not available in the world. That new forms of enjoyment let us come out with. So the buddhi will imagine because it has that capability. So perception, memory, imagination, all of them will work to feed karma. Now, if a person wants to realize the truth, then for that person, this is very important. If somebody says, no, I don't want to realize truth right now, I want to just enjoy in my life, I'm not wanting vairagya, I don't want bhakti, then it's a different matter. The adhikari is different. This is meant for a sadhak. If somebody is walking the spiritual path, then what are the obstacles that come? How to overcome them? That is important. So how to overcome karma? Pratipaksha bhavana is important. That pratipaksha bhavana is to see the limitation of what I am attached to. That is called pratipaksha bhavana. Paksha means one side, pratipaksha means the other side. When karma comes, we get so fascinated by that object or that person And we can only see the pleasurable aspects. We don't see what causes, what can be the painful aspect. If we see the painful aspect, then the mind will think twice. And so Pratipaksha Bhavana is important. It applies to everything, whether it is smoking, drinking, browsing, phone addiction, anything, any form of addiction, Pratipaksha Bhavana is important. What we say here in Vedanta in these technical terms of Pratipaksha Bhavana, Vairagya, all that, the same thing is told by people in a sugar-coated way through so many popular self-help books. I mean, it does motivate people and it transforms life, so it is great. There's nothing to criticize that. But the point is, we may scoff at this. What is this spirituality saying? What is Tulsi Das saying here? This is not correct, and he's, anti-women, and then the feminists will rise against him and all that. The principle he's explaining is what has to be understood. And it is Bhagwan Ram who is saying this to Naradji. And what is Bhagwan Ram doing right now? He's searching for Sitaji or not? If he's anti-women, why will he go and search Sitaji? So we have to see the context. Now, other day I was listening, is very interesting, how to break the habit. Some deep habits, what we call attachments, they'll also express as habits. In behavior, they'll express as habits. So they said 3 things are important in a habit. One is the trigger, other is a pattern, and third is the enjoyment of the result, the pleasure that one derives from the result. These 3 things sustain the habit. And so what they said, most of the people try to work only on the trigger, that they should not get triggered. So they will try to keep themselves away from things which will possibly create a trigger which makes them fall into a habit. So if I have the habit, if I'm addicted to phone, the moment the alarm rings, the first thing I want to do is, the alarm itself is on in the phone. So immediately I will see the phone and then I start browsing. So they will say, okay, this alarm being in the phone is the trigger. So let me not do that. Let me keep a separate alarm. Okay, then put the separate alarm. So they change the trigger, which is okay. It has its own place. But if you don't break the pattern, how much ever you change the trigger, because triggers are not in our control. Triggers can happen anytime, from outside also and inside also. I may put a separate alarm so that I don't touch the phone. I may keep the phone in the next room so that I don't immediately get up. Those things will help. But the trigger can be something else. Somebody else may tell me that, some important message has come. Have you replied to it? Or my own mind will say, oh, I have to do this work. I better note it down. Triggers, there is unlimited possibilities of triggers. So what they said, you have to break the pattern. At that time when the trigger is there and you want to run for the phone, what do you have to do? Break the pattern. And there are methods to break the pattern. So you say that, yes, I will do this, but after half an hour. I will remember that this work I have to do, or I will reply to that message that somebody sent after half an hour. Or first I will finish my puja, or I will finish my exercise, then I will attend to this. Now that pattern has to be broken in behavior. And the third thing is about the result, the pleasure you derive from the result. So the moment I will go and answer the phone or type out what I have to do, there's a certain sense of, okay, I handled this. And the joy that I get because I handled my phone, that has to be broken. So I have to see the opposite side, that how much my mind gets carried away by this thought process, how much I'm addicted to that phone, and how that addiction actually puts me away. Like my exercise routine, the timing is gone, the schedule is gone, and one may lead to the other, and now I'm on the phone for the next half an hour. Because one message I wanted to reply and I sat on it to reply that. Then another 5 messages have come. Now I'm replying. Half an hour gone. Now the time for exercise is finished. Now my health is suffering. Now I have to see that. If that is same as Pratipaksha Bhavana, no, see that limitation there of the phone and the pain that it will cause you, and so you keep away from it and you make your rules for it. It's the same thing what Bhagavan is saying here. That sense objects, they will have all their temptations, be alert. And of all of them, Kama is the most powerful one, and in Kama, the most powerful one is the opposite gender. So he gives the whole description. So one interesting observation after Doha 43, the chaupais, 4 chaupais which are there. This is the literary skill of Tulsi Das ji. He uses all 6 seasons to describe this Pratipaksha Bhavana. You see the first chaupai, in that the word Vasant comes. Suni muni kaha purana shruti santa, mohi vipina kahu nari basanta. So the Puranas, the Vedas, the saints declare that woman is like the vernal season to the forest of ignorance, Vasant. In Vasant, everything blooms. So he says, a woman is like that. The forest of ignorance will keep blooming. Woman meaning whatever is your object of attachment, that is like the spring season. It will create new desires and new ways of enjoyment, and new ways of brooding on it. Basanta. Then Japa Tapa Nema Jalashraya Jhari Hoi Grisham. Grishma is summer. Vasant is spring, Grishma is summer. So Shai Sabanari. All Japa, Tapa, all sadhana, everything goes out of the back door. Can't do anything. Why? Because the mind is obsessed with that object of attachment. Then Kama Krodha Mada Matsara Bheka Inahi Harasha Prada Barasha Eka. So that is Varsha Ritu, the rainy season. In the rainy season, all these frogs, they come out. So who are these frogs? Anger. So this lust, anger, pride, jealousy are so many frogs, as it were. Like the rainy season, woman is the only agency that gladdens them all. Then he says, Durvasana Kumud Samudai Tinakaha Sarada Sada Sukhadai. Sarad Ritu is the autumn. Sharad Ritu. So Durvasana. So latent desires of a vicious type are like a bed of lilies to which, like the autumn, she is ever agreeable. Then Dharma Sakala Sarasi Ruha Brinda Hoi Hima Tinahi Dahai Sukha Manda. Hima is Hemant Ritu. So all the different virtues are like a bed of lotuses, like the middle of winter. Woman who is the source of base sensual pleasure blights them all. And then Puni Mamata Javasa Bahutai Paluhai Nari Sisira Ritupai. That is a Shishir Ritu. That is proper winter. He says again, the overgrowth of the Yavasa plant in the shape of mindness flourishes when the close of winter in the shape of woman appears. What does that mean? Why 6 seasons are used? That because generally one associates Kama with only spring. But it is not only spring. Kama can enter any time in our mind. So 24/7, 365 days, one has to be very alert. That's the point. Any time Kama will enter. Any moment it will enter. Any day, any season, there is no, boundary. There is no limit. Seasons are there only for a certain time, but Kama is all season, full time. And so the seeker has to be very alert. Now, Naradji, he heard all this, and he was very happy that Bhagwan actually protected him. And so he says that who is that dull-witted person who doesn't worship such a Lord, who thinks so much of the welfare of the servants, of the devotees. Sevaka paramamata aru priti. Jena bhajai as a prabhu brahmatyagi, jnana rank nara mand abhagi. That person is very, very dull-witted. Mand, jnana ranka, is poor in knowledge or is bankrupt of wisdom. Jnana ranka, nara mand abhagi, very unfortunate. Now, he asks another question to Bhagavan. पुनिसादर बोले मुनि नारद सुनहु राम विज्ञान विसारद संतन के लक्षण रघुवीरा कहु नाथ भव भंजन भीरा. That, oh Lord, you please tell me what are the qualities of a Santa. You are the one who destroys this ocean of transmigration, so you please tell us the qualities of a Sant. Now, Naradji himself is a Sant. But how he came under the influence of Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all these, and it is Bhagwan who saved him. Imagine Naradji is Brahmaji's son. He is a Bala Brahmachari. He is a Urdhva Reta yogi. And he is a devotee of Bhagwan. Lives like he is a recluse. He is not married. And in such a person, Kama can enter. So he is asking that, tell me what are the qualities of a Santa, so that all of us living here also we can develop these qualities. If we want to realize Bhagwan, these are the qualities we have to have. When Bhagwan met Valmiki Rishi, Bhakta Lakshan, Bhagwan said. Here now, Naradji is asking Sant Lakshan. And Bhagwan himself is singing the glory of a Santa. Who is a Santa? Very interesting is, across the scriptural literature, so many places the qualities are given of who is a realized master, who is a Sant, who is a Bhakta, who is a Sannyasi, who is a Gunatita. Everywhere, who is a Jnani, all so many places it is given. And yet we don't read those things. Then we fall for some humbug, some miracle somebody is doing, some power somebody is exhibiting, and some self-projection one is into. And then we say, I am very disillusioned, spirituality is what is happening. Arey, these are lakshan which are given. We have to see all these, then associate with the person, then we will know that what are we getting into. Simply if we just blindly go and just start following somebody just because some popularity is there, or so many people are following, so I will also follow, or some miracles are there, or some benefit you got because that person said something and it happened. Such shallow ways of associating. And naturally one will get disillusioned, disappointed. See the lakshan. And the point also is, these are not just to judge others, these are for us to become Santa. I can be a Bhakta of the Lord, a Jnani Bhakta of the Lord, or a Santa. But what is the speciality of Santa here? See, like Jnani Bhakta, Bhagwan said earlier, he doesn't have to protect them so much because they will use their vivek. Of course, that is also by Bhagwan's kripa only. And Bhakta who has completely surrendered to Bhagwan is like a small child, and Bhagwan protects that Bhakta. But here the Sant Lakshan, Bhagwan says, I run behind such Santa. See this now. Suno muni santan ke guna kahau, jinate मैं उनके बस रहूं. He says, I am under their control. Who are these saints? What are their qualities? So he says, I am telling you the qualities of such saints, under whose control even I am. What does that mean? It's not that Santa is controlling Bhagwan. It's Bhagwan's greatness that he says that such great saints are there and I act according to their will and wish. It is to hype up the Sant lakshan, that these qualities are very important and these help us to achieve fulfillment in human life. So what does he say? Shat vikara jita anagha akama. So first quality is Shat Vikara Jita. They have mastered 6 Vikaras. Now please remember, mastered 6 Vikaras does not mean that they will never have these 6 Vikaras. But they are not victims of that. They are not attached to that. They may use it for a certain purpose that is necessary, not for their self-gratification. Parashara Rishi can use Kama to ensure that Vedavyasji is born, because he sees that in this astrological time, if a child is born, that child will revive this dharma. So Satyavati is available at that time and the child is born is Vedavyasa Rishi. He uses Kama. He doesn't become a victim of Kama. And he tells Satyavati, bye-bye, I'm going. My job is done. I had to do this because at this time in the creation, this is necessary. And he goes. He is not attached to Satyavati. Nor is he irresponsible. He is a Rishi. He has certain duties he had to do. And this child has to come through him. Okay, it has to come through me. Over. Finished. Gone. Krodha also. Like that. All 6 vikars. For us, they become vikars. For them, they are tools. For the Santa, they are tools. A Santa can use anger to discipline, to be strict as a tool. Many times Gurudev used anger. He never got affected by that anger like how we get affected, because we get affected first and so anger comes. It is not like that for them. They see that, okay, this situation needs anger. They may use anger and throw it away. So like that, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all. They may use it. And it's not necessarily all the 6 they will use. Some they will use, some they don't. Like delusion or, jealousy, they don't need to use. They overcome that. Kama they may use, Krodha they may use. So some of these they may use, some of these they may totally reject, abandon. So mastered. Shad Vikara Jita. Then Anagha. Sinless. Sinless means what? As long as Karta Bhav is there, doership, enjoyership is there, Punya and Papa, merit and sin or merit and demerit, they will affect the Jiva. If Karta Bhav is dropped completely, then whatever past karmas also are there, they will all get burnt. In the Sanchit karma gets burnt. In that moment of realization, Sanchit karma gone. No new Agami karma they create. Existing Prarabdha karma which has started, they go through it without any attachment or doership. So no sin. And what do they realize? I am the Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarup Atma. I never was a sinner who now became purified and became liberated. No matter how much projection of the movies happen on the screen, show after show after show, the screen remains white only. Nothing happens to the screen. No matter how many dreams we dream every night, we have the same waker next morning. Nothing has transformed us or changed us into some dream character. So Anagha. Shata Vikara Jita Anagha Akama. No desire. Why? Because Paripurna Kama, experienced fulfillment. Not suppressing desires, not escaping from desires, not completely becoming a victim of desires. One who has dropped the desirer and experience that state of fulfillment, naturally there is no desire. How we rise above childhood toys, no desire. We may still play with it. Same way, they may play in the world with various things if required, but no desire. Kings like Janak Maharaj, Ashwapati Raja, Ambarish Raja, they had kingdoms also, but no desire, no personal desire that if this happens, then I feel worthy, I feel more happy, nothing. So, akama. Achala, they are very steady and firm, not chanchala. Our mind is chanchal, continuously dilly-dallying. For everything one goes on thinking, should I do, should I not do, should I go here, should I not go here? And impulsively it keeps choosing. So many times one resolves, I will do this, I will do this, I will do this. Last minute, no, I don't want to do this. Drop. So fickle mind. So chanchal. And when the opposite also happens. One knows I don't want to do this, I shouldn't do this, etc. And then one just tips, one does it. Very chanchal. The Santa is achal. And these are qualities cultivated by sadhana. They have not just come like that in the Santa. The steadiness has to be cultivated. The mind has to be made decisive. Mind has to be made, pure. Sadhana has to be done. 6 vikars, one has to put efforts to overcome them. It is not by some blessing of Bhagavan that directly they have become like that. It is the grace of Bhagavan that one is able to get satsang, then sadhana, and then one is able to come out of this. So, achala. Then, akinchana, meaning no possessions. Meaning, not that they don't have things at all. They don't have ownership of these things, that these are all mine. That possessiveness is not there. It is there, one uses it, one knows Bhagavan has blessed us with this, we will use it for the well-being of people or the beings. That's about it. So it's not about having 5 belongings or 10 belongings or 100 belongings or 1,000. Gurudev used to say that Tapon Maharaj had only 2 sets of clothes and I have 200. But both of us are not attached to what we have. So it is not about having 2 or 200. It is about being attached. Somebody may have only 2 and very attached to it. And somebody may have 200 and not attached to it at all. So that non-possessiveness is akinchana. Achala akinchana. Suchi, very pure. Outside, inside. Pure thoughts. No impurities. No malice, cunningness, playing games, none of that. Suchi, Sukhadhama, abode of happiness. One quality of Santa is that the Santa, irrespective of what is the situation outside, inside one is happy, contented, peaceful, and radiates that to others around. That sukha is not born from some sense enjoyment or some power, some position, some praise, from applause. That Santa is the abode of sukha. How? Because the Santa is connected to that which is the source of happiness, which is the Lord. So Sukhadhama. Amita Bodha. The person has, Bodha means knowledge. Immeasurable knowledge. Mita means measured. Amita means immeasurable knowledge. Meaning, person is not dull, ignorant. Person is aware, has knowledge. Some of the saints have studied scripture, some of them have not studied scripture, but they have connected to the very source of all knowledge, the Chaitanya Swarup Atma. So the intuitive wisdom is awakened in the saint. Amita Bodha. Amita Bodha, Aniha, Mita Bhogi, no desire. What was said earlier, no? Akama and Aniha mean the same. Desireless. Iha means desire. Aniha, no desire. Meaning no selfish desire. One may desire to serve the society, to help the people who are suffering, but no personal desire. Amita bodha aniha mita bhogi. Oh, Swamiji, all these other qualities are very subjective, but this quality is okay. Objective can be understood. What? Mita bhogi consumes very little. So if somebody is consuming a lot of food, that person is not a Sant, Swamiji. Don't judge like that. There are some saints who have great capacity to eat laddus. And many times people ask, why do these saints eat so much laddu? At least in earlier days that was there, laddu capacity of the saint or even any person was measured by how many proper ghee ka laddu one can eat one time. The idea was that, especially for the seeker, for a meditator, that ghee helps. And it helps in meditation also, cools down the brain also, it helps to retain fat in the body. And of course, it also helps because the Sant, so many times there is no constant source of food. They live on bhiksha. So when they get, they eat. And sometimes days on end, there is no food. So that was a practical aspect at those times. So one would eat when one gets. When one doesn't get, Ram Bhajan, no problem. And the body stores the fat. That fat will be utilized. Survival mode, the body will get into, continues. So here, what is Mita Bhogi? Meaning moderation in the food, not only in what one eats, in all the senses. Meaning sense control, that's the point. Mita Bhogi. Satya Sara, very truthful. No cheating, no telling lies, no deceiving people, no promising something and then, not honoring that promise. Satya Sara, Kabi ko be the jogi. That person may be a Kavi. Kavi literally doesn't mean only a poet. Kavi means Krantadarshi, who has a subtle vision. What the ordinary people cannot see, the Kavi can see. Meaning a subtler vision, a vision of the higher spiritual self, or even the vision for the welfare of the community, what the people should do, vision for the country, vision for the culture, vision for eliminating poverty, vision for education. One may have a subtler vision and one is able to share and inspire people. So Kabi, Kobida, very learned, and Jogi also does sadhanas to unite with the self, helps others to do those sadhanas. Jogi. Savadhana, very alert, doesn't become, complacent. Savadhan. Akhandanand used to say, Savdhani hati, Durghatana ghati. Who is a sadhak? One who is savdhan is a sadhak. And Gurudev also used to say that alertness is the price you pay for freedom. Alertness is the price we pay for freedom. Because when we are inalert, we forget our true nature and the ego rises. And Ramana Maharshi also said the same thing. Aham apetakam nija vibhanakam mahadidam tapo ramana vagyam. This is the great tapas, says Ramana Maharshi. What? To live in the constant awareness that I am the self and not to allow the ego to rise. Aham apetakam nija vibhanakam. One should know who am I. To be continuously aware, I am the self, I am not this BMI, that alertness. So, savadhana. Then, manada, who will give respect, man, to others, who doesn't think that I am a santa and these people are all fools. They are ignorant, dumb, dull-witted people. I am the knowledgeable one, nothing. One sees everyone as the appearance of the Lord, and appropriate man one gives to everyone. Whether it is a small child or a woman or a man or a great businessman, whoever it may be. Anyone, animal, plant, bird, everyone. Manada. Madahina, free from this pride. Mother means that people have mother or intoxication, delusion. Not delusion, intoxication is the right word. Intoxication of wealth. Oh, I am so wealthy. Oh, intoxication of knowledge. I am so knowledgeable. I am so handsome. I am so young. I am so beautiful. I am so popular. That intoxicated by something. That person is Madahina. So it's not only physical intoxication. Physical intoxication, of course, not there of alcohol and all the other things, but even the mental one. Madahina. Dhira, very, very brave and wise, can discriminate very clearly between what is real, what is unreal, what is the source of happiness, what is the source of pain, what is good, what is pleasant, what is Atma, what is Anatma, all types of discrimination. Dhira, wise. Dhira, Dharma Gati Parama Pravina, and very adept or very, you know, he's an expert in the way of Dharma. Dharma Gati Parama Pravina, extremely adept in the ways of Dharma, so that person will not compromise from Dharma, will not do things only to please people. What is Dharma, what is right, one will do, even if it displeases people. That is the quality even a great leader must have. Forget a Santa. A leader who goes on playing to the masses, not a great leader actually. Because masses may not have certain discriminative ability. They want certain things, and for the sake of popularity, one will just do. Now, Bhagwan Ram, if you see how many decisions that he took, where it is not a popular opinion, but that is Dharma. That's a quality to learn from Bhagwan Ram. Bharatji and Kaikeyi and all the mothers and all the gurus, the entire Ayodhya has come to call him back. But he says, I will not come back. Look at that strength there. I will not come back. Why? Because father's promise I have to keep up, and it will be fulfilled only when both these are done without compromise. I have to be in the forest for 14 and Bharat has to rule. There cannot be a compromise. They all wanted a compromise. Either Bhagwan Ram comes back, or Bharatji goes to the forest and Bhagwan Ram rules the kingdom, or both Bharatji and Ramji will be in the forest and Lakshmanji and others will rule the kingdom. So many possibilities were told to him. Bhagwan said, nothing doing. What? Dashrath Maharaj, I gave the promise to him. He asked me to do this because he has given a boon to the mother. Now this has to be followed uncompromisingly. And in Valmiki Ramayana, we see that Dashrathji, at the end of 14 years of Bhagwan's exile, he feels happy that these two boons were fulfilled. And he attains Satgati because of that. Of course, he comes and explains to Sita ji also that Bhagwan has not doubted her ever and all that stuff. That happens in Valmiki Ramayana. But the point is no compromise. A Santa is one who is like that. Will not swerve from the path of Dharma. What is wrong is wrong. The Sant has the strength to call out the wrong. Whether people are there or not doesn't matter. Oh, I don't have support of so many people. I am alone. People who follow Dharma don't bother about that, because Dharma is their strength, not the popularity. Others depend on popularity, then they feel strong. And to get that popularity, they may compromise with Dharma. Then what is the point? One may say this is very idealistic. In the world, we can't live like that. That is up to each one. I have no comments on that. If somebody thinks it's idealistic, so be it for them. This is for a seeker. If I want to know the truth, I have to be uncompromising in my Dharma. And it doesn't mean uncompromising only in the public domain. Uncompromising in sadhana, that is a sadhak dharma. Uncompromising in bhakti, uncompromising in seva, uncompromising in the discipline of the day. There one has to be uncompromising. Then the hard decisions one can take even in the world outside. And is it not that is what the management experts also say? What did Stephen Covey say in that 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Private victories lead to public victories. What is the meaning of private victory? If we don't master ourselves, we can't be great leaders outside. So, dhira dharma gati parama pravina. Dharma gati. What is the dharmic gati? One should know that, and one will not compromise in that. Guna agar. Guna agar. Agar is a abode. So, abode of virtues. Samsara dukha rahita. Free from samsara dukkha. Continuously craving for something or the other. That is samsara dukkha. No matter how much one has, one is still going on craving for more and more and more, and is unhappy till one gets it. Little pleasurable one feels at the time one gets it. Again, one starts running for something else. And in that, keep on cribbing, complaining, going through life as though one is a victim. That is all samsara dukkha. Santa is free from samsara dukkha. Guna agara samsara dukkha rahita bigata sandeha. Doubts have all gone. Why? Because realization has happened. Or one has done enough reflection, so doubts are gone, and now one is doing steady contemplation. Either ways. Taji mama charana saroja priya tina kaho dehana geha. Mama charana saroja priya. The lotus feet of the Lord are very dear to that Santa. And this tina kahu dehana geha. Neither their own body nor the house, meaning no I, no my, dropping all that I-ness and mine-ness, they are serving the feet of the Lord. They are devoted to the feet of the Lord. Nija guna sravana sunata sakuchahi. They feel very inhibited, not inhibited, what is the word here? Hesitant. What are they? They blush. Okay, they've written here blush. Sakucha, sankocha means one hesitates or one feels that, oh, why are they doing this? So if somebody praises the Sant doesn't want to encourage that and keep listening to that. Other people feel very happy when they are praised, and they feel, I'm something. I'm different from the rest. I'm so unique. These are my such special qualities. See, at one stage, it is encouraged in the world so that, okay, people develop confidence and all that. But at a higher stage in spirituality, one doesn't need that. Because one knows that is all finite. I am that infinite reality, and I'm pursuing that. So why will I get stuck to the finite and praise this finite more and more? So they blush as though to hear about themselves. Nija guna sravana sunata sakuchahi, paraguna sunata adhika harshahi. But they are happy to listen to the good qualities of others. Why? Because they see that this is also glory of Bhagavan. And they encourage others, they help the others to feel good about themselves, positive about themselves. They don't need that anymore. So if somebody needs, they may encourage them. And if Mr. A is praising Mr. B, the Sant doesn't feel jealous. How can A praise B so much? One doesn't feel that, oh, B has such good qualities, I don't have these qualities, so now I'm feeling lesser and that person is greater. All that is gone. One feels happy that if somebody is doing well, somebody has great qualities, one feels happy. That's a Sant lakshan. One doesn't start comparing, competing, feeling insecure or feeling greater. Then that is samsari lakshan. Sant lakshan is one feels happy when one sees good things happening. People prospering, people achieving great things, and people getting praised. There is no jealousy, there is no insufficiency, there is no insecurity, none of that. That's the Sant hriday. Samasitala nahi tyagi hi niti, sarala subhav sabahi sana priti. So sama, equal in all pairs of opposites. Sital, very cool, doesn't get worked up so fast. Nahi tyagahi niti, will not swerve from the path of dharma. Again, sarala subhav, very simple in nature. Simplicity is the hallmark of the saint. No complicated thought processes and manipulation and all that. Sarala subhav doesn't mean that person is dumb. Person is smart, but doesn't give in to these ways of the tricks of the mind. Sarala subhav, sabahi sana priti, and loves all. Does not have partiality, means doesn't do partiality. That these are my close people, these are not my people. That is samsari lakshan. Dhritarashtra says, Mamakaha Pandavaha. A Sant doesn't have that Mamakaha Pandavaha. For a Sant, everybody is equal. That's one quality that the world cannot accept. A person may be one big, entrepreneur or some big scientist or some big doctor or a sportsman, whoever that person may be. And other person may be some humble servant somewhere, some driver, some watchman. For the Sant, both are equal in terms of how the person treats them psychologically. One does not think that the watchman is any lesser than a great achiever. They both are human beings, they both are sadhaks, they both are jiva in their path of evolution, and they both are appearances of Brahman. In all the ways they are equal for the Santa. So the Sant loves all. Appropriately, when some work has to be done, the Sant may take the help of appropriate people, but in the vision, the Sant is not overly obliged to the rich person, nor the Sant is dominating over the so-called humble person. Nothing. Sabahi sana priti. Equally loving to all. Japa tapa vrata dama sanjama nema guru govinda viprapada prema. So the person is one who is engaged in japa, chanting the name of the Lord, living austerely, doing vratas, living in sense control, living in discipline, sanyam, and the person, Guru Govinda Viprapada Prema, has the devotion for the feet of the Guru, for the Lord, for wise people. See, even a Sant has an altar of surrender, and that's why the person is actually Sant. I should ask myself, what is my altar of surrender? Who is my Ishtadevata? Who is my Guru? Who is my guide? Which scripture am I anchored in? That one should ask. I just read one. Yesterday I found this very nice message. Simple one, but a very nice message. It said, 5 greatest gifts for your child. We give so many gifts to children for birthday and other occasions. Nothing wrong with that, but this was something very nice. He said, 5 great gifts for your child. What are they? An Ishtadevata, a family altar, a simple daily sadhana, a Hindu book case, and a guru. Just think, how beautiful is that? And Ishtadevata, the child anchors very soon in the Ishtadevata. From childhood, it's easy to anchor the child in the young age. A family altar, that there has to be a proper altar and where the whole family does puja and the child sees the parents doing it and then the child is following that. A simple daily sadhana, which every day one does. It can be simple, chant Gayatri Mantra 11 times or light the lamp, sit quietly and chant these 4-5 shlokas. Simple daily sadhana, which the child has to do every day. A Hindu book case to make the child understand what is your culture, why we do so many things, what is the significance, what is the uniqueness of Sanatan Dharma, what is the depth of Sanatan Dharma. Obviously, having a case by itself is not enough. One should read and then also make the child read, understand, have conversations, and a guru. How nice is that? So even a Santa has an altar of surrender. Then what to talk about all of us? We definitely need some altar of surrender. So we should ask, what is my altar of surrender? And these 5 are not necessarily only gifts for children. We can ask for ourselves also. Do I have these 5 in my life? Then I have gifted myself properly. So, Guru Govinda Vipra Padar Prema, Shraddha Chama Mayatridaya, Mudita Mama Pada Priti Amaya. Shraddha, that person has faith. Kshama, is able to forgive those who have hurt him or her. Maitri, friendliness towards all. And Daya, compassionate towards those who are suffering. Mudita, lives in joy. Mama Pada Priti Amaya, and has immeasurable devotion for the Lord. Birati has Vairagya. Viveka has discrimination. Binaya Bigyana, humility, and also this ability to think logically. What have they given us here? Translation. Dispassion, discretion, modesty, knowledge of the truth relating to God. Here Vigyana is that. Binaya Vigyana. Bodha Janaratha Veda Purana. The real meaning of the Vedas and Puranas that person has comprehended. Not, misunderstanding it or condemning it, criticizing it. Why this is important? Because a Santa is the one who will anchor the people in the Shastra properly. So that the Sant, because Sant will disappear. How much time will a Sant live? If Bhagwan himself says that when I leave this world, I will remain in the form of Bhagavatam and continue to guide people. If Bhagwan himself says that the book, the Srimad Bhagavatam is his Vangmaya avatar, then Sant, of course, is the one who will connect the devotee or the seeker to the Shastra and not make them dependent on him or her. Because this incarnation or this form will just disappear. Then what will happen? Again, the seeker is left, absolutely anchorless. Why Gurudev insisted that every discourse that he gives, the text must be in the hands of the devotee. They must have it. So many people I see today, they listen to the talk, they just don't have the book. They just sit and keep listening. Arey, take the book, read what is written there, so that you will get familiar with what is written. You will see the words, you will see the meaning, you will see the connection, you will learn the language, you will see the beautiful expressions given here, and you develop love for a scripture. That is enough. One scripture I should love, that this is my favorite one, and then just anchor in that. Then we don't have to depend on anybody outside. And even if the person has gone, that Sant will be very happy when a person gets anchored in the scripture. Why? Because the Sant knows my job is done. Now this person is independent. The person will walk and reach the truth. So that's why Bodha Janaratha Veda Purana. Damba Manamada Karahina Kau Bhulina Dehi Kumaraga Pau. So does not have these negative qualities. Dambha, false pride. Mana, pride. Dambha is having pride for what is not one's own or what one doesn't even have. That is Dambha, false pride. Mana is pride for what one has. Mana here is in the term of ego. Dambha, Mana, Mada, intoxication, Karahina Kau, doesn't fall for this. Bhulina Dehi, Kumaraga Pau. And even by mistake, Kumaraga, false path, they will not take the false path, the evil path. Gavahi Sunahi Sada Mama Leela, they listen to and they keep singing the glory of Bhagwan all the time. Hetu Rahita Parahita Ratali Sila, without any selfish interest, they are engaged in the well-being of all people. Hetu Rahita Parahita. They don't want anything out of it. They don't want to become popular. They don't want their name to be printed everywhere. They don't want that, they are given some award. None of that. Hetu Rahita Parahita. Rata Leela. Continuously they are engaged. Rata Sila, in good character. Muni suno sadhuna ke guna jete. He said, "O Muni, O Narad Muni, listen that all these qualities, kahina sakahi sarada shruti tete, the qualities of a saint, even Sharada Devi, Saraswati Devi, and the Vedas, they cannot explain. Already Bhagwan has given so many. From that earlier Chaupai number 4 to this Chaupai 4, all these are qualities of the Santa. After saying all these qualities, he's saying the qualities of the saints cannot be explained even by the Vedas and by Sharda Devi. And he himself, Bhagwan Ram, has explained this much. So he says again the same thing. Kahi sakana sarada sesha narada sunata pada pankaj gahe asadina bandhu kripala apane bhagata guna nija mukha kahe सिरुनाई बारहि बार चरणनि ब्रह्म पुर नारद गए ते धन्य तुलसी दास आस बिहाई जे हरि रंग रहे. So Sarada and Shesha, Adi Shesha with 1,000 hoods also cannot sing the glory of the Santa. Sharda Devi also cannot sing the glory. What happened to Naradji then? Narada Sunata Pada Pankaja Gahe. As Naradji heard all this, Asa Dina Bandhu Kripala, this Bhagwan who is Dina Bandhu, he sang the glory. Apne Bhagata Guna Nija Mukha Kahe. Bhagwan himself sang the glory of the devotees, of the Santa. Santa is supposed to glorify Bhagwan. Here Bhagwan is glorifying Santa. Sirunai Barahi Bara Charanani. He again and again bowed down to Bhagwan at his lotus feet, and finally he went to Brahmalok, Brahmapura Narada Gaye. So Tulsidas ji says, Te dhanya Tulsi das asa bihai je hari rang rahe. Those people are blessed who give up all these attachments in the world and they color themselves in the color of Bhagwan, meaning in devotion to the Lord. Ravanari jasu pavana gavahi sunahi jaloga Rama bhagati dridha pavahi binu viraga japa joga Deepa sikha samajubati tana manajani hosi patanga Bhajahi Rama taji kama mada karahi sada satsang siyavar Ramachandra ki jai Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai Umapati Mahadev ki jai Bolo bhai sab santan ki jai. So he says, whoever sings the glory of Bhagwan Ram, Ravanari Jasu Pavana Gavahi, meaning this whole Aranyakand itself, whoever sings, whoever listens, Gavahi Sunahi Jelog, what will happen to them? Rama Bhagati Dhrida Pavahi. They will get firm devotion to Bhagwan Ram. Binu Biraga Japa Jog. Just listening to this whole Aranyakand and repeating it again and again, not just once. He says, Punahi Jelog. Again and again, one keeps listening to this and repeating this to others. Then, even without doing great tapa or taking the name of the, of Vairagya or taking the name of the Lord continuously or doing some great yogic exercises, even without all that, one will develop devotion to Bhagwan Ram. Then he gives a caution again. He says that the woman is like the flame of a candle and our mind is like the moth. The moth will go and immolate itself. So whatever is my object of attachment, my mind is so attracted towards it that uncontrollably it will go and fall in it. It will destroy itself. So Tulsidaji says, O mind, bhajahi Rama. You seek Bhagwan Ram alone, you worship the Lord alone, you give up this kama and mada, this desire and this intoxication. And how to do that? Karahi sada satsang. Always be in satsang. So that way this Aranyakand is very beautiful. If you take Aranyakand by itself, exclusively, entire sadhana path is given in this Aranyakand. It started with Jayant Prasang. Mohit Jayant. Jayant got tempted. He is Indra's son. And he came and he was troubling Sitaji. It started with Jayant Prasang and it ends with Sant Prasang. Jagrat Sant, who is a awakened saint, who is a realized saint. So from the state of delusion to the state of realization, the whole journey is there. Bhagwan meets Atri Rishi, Anasuya Devi, and Dharma Upadesh is given there. Then Bhagwan meets Sutikshna, Sutikshna Rishi, Agastya Muni. Satsang is there in that. Then Bhagwan destroys this Khar, Dushan, all of the demons, Kabandha. So many demons are destroyed. The negativity sinners we have to destroy. The meeting with saints is Satsang. Then the negativities we have to destroy. Then Bhagwan reaches Panchavati. And there the prasang of Ram Gita comes. So Jnana, Vairagya, Bhagwan speaks to Lakshmanji about that. So there is Jnana in this chapter, Vairagya in this chapter, Satsang in this chapter, Dharma in this chapter. Then we also have Shabri Prasang, where Bhakti is there in this chapter, Navada Bhakti. Then we have being cautious and alert. So for that, two prasangs are there in this. A seeker must be alert. One is the prasang of Sita Haran, and other is this prasang of Naradji's Moha, and why Bhagwan did this Leela. So that is again, a seeker must be very alert. And then of course we have the Sant lakshan, that a person who follows this path, giving up the negativities, doing more and more satsang, following one's own dharma, getting vairagya, worshipping the Lord, that person will finally become Santa, and the journey is complete. So from the state of delusion to the state of realization, this Aranyakand tells everything. And it is true, we saw in the first class of Aranyakand that the samsara itself is like an aranya, like a forest. We are lost in this forest. And this forest is not plain land. Forest has mountains, trees, ups, downs, rivers, so many things. Samsara is also like that. Life is like that. There are so many ups and downs which come. What will help us to pass through this samsara is bhakti towards the Lord, is following our dharma, is developing jnana and vairagya. All those things we have to do. So that's where we conclude this Aranyakand, and we will chant the first shloka again as a symbolic gesture that we will continue to study Aranyakand. So the first shloka. Moolam dharma taror viveka jaladhehe purnendumanandadam vairagyambuja bhaskaram yaghagana dhvantapaham tapaham mohambodhara puga patana vidhau swasambhavam shankaram vande brahmakulam kalanka shamanam Shri Rama Bhupa Priyam. So that's where we will stop for today. And our Aranyakand we will start in July, because right now each Sunday there is something or the other that is happening. Next Sunday we have the 6th anniversary celebrations of Chinmay Pradeep at Pavai Ashram, 3:30 to 6:30. All of you are welcome. Please do come for it. There are lots of nice activities, treasure hunt, quiz, many things are there. It's a nice session, open for all age groups. So you can come for that. And then we also have a trek for the youth on 3rd July. Then we have Guru Purnima celebrations on 10th July. That will happen at Prempuri, same time in the morning like our class. And so then on 17th July is what we will start this next Kand. That will be the Kishkindha Kand. So the dates and the other things I will send on the group in a day or two, and then you all can join. So, any questions for today? Okay, so let's do the Arati.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिय पी की। गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद, वाल्मीक विज्ञान विशारद। सुख सनकादि शेष अरु सारद, बरनि पवन सुत कीरति नीकी। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश। छौ शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस, मुनि जन धन संतन को सर्वस। सार अंश सम्मत सब ही की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की। गावत संतत शंभु भवानी, अरुघट संभव मुनि विज्ञानी। व्यास आदि कवि वर्ज बखानी, काग भुसुंडी गरुड़ के ही की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की। कलिमल हरनि विषय रस पीकी, सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति जुबती की। दलन रोग भव मूरियमी की, तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की। ये सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
So, we offer this entire satsang sadhana at the feet of the Lord and thank Him for the grace and the blessings. Om कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि, नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। ओम तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु, ओम तत्सत् चिन्मयार्पणमस्तु। Thank you to all of you also for being this most receptive audience through this entire COVID time, and we will continue our journey of satsang. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.